Alright, what's going on, guys? Thought I'd make a quick little vid here talking about fall camp. It's in full swing now. I believe this is the first day we're doing 2 days. So we've been in full pads since, I believe, Thursday. So we're now getting into 2 days today, and we'll, I believe, take a day off tomorrow. Maybe we'll just go back to one a day on Sunday, and then we'll go back to two a day on Monday. But according to all accounts, Oregon is now three deep at running back. Royce Freeman will get playing time this year. The kid's an absolute monster. He's been compared to Jonathan Stewart, one of the best backs ever to play at Oregon. Maybe not as fast as Jonathan, but just as physical and just as determined and aggressive in his running style. Not only can run by you, but can run through you. And that's the type of player I love, who will take the hit and then absorb it and still have the aggressiveness and the ability to gain that second gear and outrun guys. And Thomas Tyner and Byron Marshall will be the 1-2 combo Oregon's been looking forward to too as well. Once Thomas Tyner committed, that's what I think a lot of Oregon fans were looking forward to, is Thomas Tyner and Byron Marshall, and maybe even DeAnthony Thomas if he had stayed, being in the backfield, you know, at the same time, or being able to spell each other more often, thus having less likelihood of an injury occurring. And I personally feel Thomas Tyner's going to have a breakout year. I think this kid, from what I saw in the spring game, this kid is bulked up. He's still just as fast, and he's just a monster right now, in my opinion. There are some out there, JC, who think Byron Marshall is going to be the better player this year, and that's to be determined and can be expected when he was the team's leading rusher last year. I think he had 1,038 yards rushing and 14 touchdowns. Great year, but I think this is Thomas Tyner's year. I wasn't too impressed with what I saw from Marshall in the spring game, but like I said, I'll be rooting for both of them, and it's great that we have a 1-2 combo, and then not to mention a true freshman coming and that can spell those guys as well. Marcus is being Marcus, doing his thing, just going out there and getting ready. And I heard from an offensive lineman, I believe it was it Fisher, who said this guy could be a little bit more aggressive. And I feel the same way. I think Marcus needs to take more control of the offense and more control of, what goes on and how the game is played and how it's, managed personally. I feel he just sits back and just throws the ball where he thinks is the smartest place, and just that's it for him. He doesn't really get excited. He really doesn't, take command of the huddle, from what I can tell, or of the sideline even. So that's one thing that I think he needs to work on if he's going to succeed in the NFL, is being a more dominant presence. But he still wins football games, so I'm fine with it the way he is right now. I just feel if he's going to succeed in the NFL, he needs to be a little bit more aggressive. And you get in the wide receivers, we're very young but talented at this position. It's just more of guys living up to the expectations, and I feel they're going to do that. I feel like Keenan Lowe is going to have a good year. He's always just Mr. Serviceable, going to go out there and get his catches and not do it very flashily or, very extravagant and have a breakout play every now and then, but he's just going to go out there and be the lunch pail kind of guy and do that kind of job. Then you got Devin Allen, who's been making splashes up and down all over social media with the way he's been running track and how fast he is, which being fast is great as a receiver, but that he's small. He's not going to be able to out-physical guys, and when he gets jammed at the line, it might cause an issue. I think he's another serviceable type player who can run a quick hitch route or go route and maybe get by a guy, but he's not going to be an every down type of receiver, in my opinion, just because he's smaller and shorter and could get physically handled if they play man-to-man jam coverage on him if they want to. Now, Dwayne Stanford, on the other hand, he was a breakout true freshman with Braylon Addison. They were the 1-2 combo that we had as true freshman wide receivers. And Dwayne got hurt last year and couldn't play. Now Braylon's hurt and Dwayne's healthy. And I feel like Dwayne is going to pick up right where he left off and just come in and play as well as he was playing in his freshman year. And if he plays that good, then he'll be our leading wide receiver, in my opinion, when it's all said and done. And that's fantastic. Now, is he going to be able to replace Braylon and Josh? Not by himself, no, but when you have a player like B.J. Kelly as well and Chance Allen who can both catch the ball well, then the sky's the limit, in my opinion. It's time for these young wide receivers to live up to the hype, and now's a better time than any with some of these guys gone, with Josh gone, and now with Braylon having to miss a year due to injury. Though there are rumors swirling that Braylon's going to be back sooner than expected. I've even heard as early as Michigan State. Now, I don't know how that's possible with the injury he had, but if we can get Braylon back, this offense will be damn near impossible to stop. Um, the O line has been looking fantastic. It's a little banged up right now with Johnstone out, but he'll be back. I believe, if not for South Dakota, for Michigan State. The only reason I would see him missing South Dakota is because it's South Dakota. There's no reason to rush him back. Give him another week off and get the injury fully rested. I believe he did something to his knee in the Alamo Bowl. So I'm incredibly excited about the offense and the defense. From what I hear, the front seven has been the impressive unit on defense. Tui Talia, DeForest Buckner, and Eric Armstead have been holding down the defensive line. Three-headed monster there. Forget about it. You're going to get it from all sides on the defensive line. Your O-line's going to have to be really strong for us to not make an impact. And linebacking core has been looking good. The Don Pelham has said we're ahead of where we were last year when it was this time, so that's a great sign. And the secondary, a lot of senior guys, not necessarily a lot of senior guys playing time wise, but older guys that know the system that can come in and plug and chug and really not miss much of a beat. And once they catch up, they'll be right there with where we were last year. That's how I feel about it. So I'm extremely excited from what I've been hearing, and we're 3 weeks away now, so it's just getting better and better as this days wind down and we're getting closer to football. And I have a great feeling of what Oregon's going to be putting on the field. I feel like when we're on our game, nobody in the country can beat us, and that's me being honest. Is when we're playing our best football, when everybody's healthy, and we're clicking, we are extremely hard to stop. And that's just how I mean, shoot. I don't mind saying that at all. That's a fact. Now, we don't play up to our expectations all the time. I'll give you guys that. But when we're playing our best football, nothing will slow us down. That's it for now. I'll get more as the season goes along, or as the off season goes along, fall camp goes along, and eventually we'll be talking about a game. And as always, guys, go Ducks.